Hello everyone, this video will cover both modules 15 and 16. They are the last modules in the class and are sort of a final for the class, and so I usually open them at the same time so that you have plenty of time to work on them. Module 16 does end on a Thursday. The class itself ends on a Thursday, so you do not have an extra weekend to complete that module, which is another reason why I open it early. So let me show you what you'll be working on here. Module 15 is the exam over the world myths. So basically what I do for this class is instead of having a full comprehensive final for just asking like multiple choice and true false questions about all of the myths that we covered for the entire semester, I just do that for the world myths. And so you can see with the world myths exam review that I've got links to each of the pages that we have with the links to the actual myths themselves, and then all of the additional resources that you can use. So I've got the link to the Egyptian myths page, the Chinese myth page, Native American myth page, and then Polynesian myth page. And so these are the four, the Egyptian creation myth, Cowherd Weaver Girl, Coyote, the Origins, Death, and Legend of Maui are the four main myths that we covered, and then there was a little bit more on the creation myth in the background on Osiris page as well. And so all of those are what will be covered on the world myth exam. So the exam is just a little bit different than what we've done before because there is no short answer or essay questions. They are all multiple choice questions, which means that each question is worth 2 points. So you do need to be a little bit more careful about what answers you provide. And the other thing is that it does have a 1 hour time limit because obviously you should be reviewing for the exam ahead of time. This does take the place of like going into a class and sitting down and taking a final, which is expected of you in most classes, most college classes. And so there is a time limit on this one. But since there are no short answer or essay questions, it should not take you, it's only 25 questions. It should not take you a full hour to complete unless you just didn't do any of the readings or didn't review at all. If there are any issues with when you sit down to take it, because it's just a one-time through sort of deal, if you have issues, you need it reset, you have to email me immediately. You'll get new questions on the exam. So make sure that you are emailing me. Tech support cannot help you. If you have issues, make sure you don't wait until the last minute to take this exam because then I probably won't be able to help you. So the other thing that you'll be doing, and this will be open at the same time as Module 16. So Module 16 is the final comprehensive essay part of the class. And so rather than, like I said, having a comprehensive exam, I actually have students write out some response to the final, using a final comprehensive essay. And basically what this does is allow you to look back over the entire semester and just remember a few specific things. So the first thing that you're going to do is choose 3 of your favorite myths. You need to have one from the Greek tradition, one from the Norse tradition, and one from the world tradition. And those would be the ones that we actually read. Now, if you have a different myth that you want to include that fits in one of those categories, but it was not a required reading, you need to send me an email because these should be from the required readings that we've done, but there may be some exceptions. So what you're going to do with that then is you're going to write an essay where you compare the 3. The easiest way to do this is to pick 3 similar myths. So you might compare you know, a myth about Hercules, and then the myth about, I don't know, Thor maybe, and then a myth, and then the Maui myth or something like that. Or you might do 3 gods of the underworld or something. You might do creation stories and make this pretty easy. So you basically compare the Greek creation story, the Norse creation story, and then, you know, pick, you know, the Egyptian creation story or something like that. And so you're picking just one individual story from each of the 3 traditions, and then you're going to discuss, you're going to create a comparison between them. The comparison should focus on the major figures in each myth, who they are, what did they do, the similarities and differences that you see. That's the primary focus of this essay, to make a comparison between them. You can also look at the different types of myths, what kinds of gods, heroes, etc. do you see featured within these myths. So this goes back to the very first unit where we started looking at divine myths versus legends, the different places that are important in myth, that kind of thing. What sort of themes do you see demonstrated? And so if it's creation, what sort of big creation themes do you see? What aspects of the myth's culture do you see reflected in these myths, and how do they compare? And then why did you pick them? Why do they appeal to you? That's a little bit more of a personal response there. So we're really looking for big, kind of comprehensive ideas, and again, analysis of similarities and differences. I don't want you to just summarize each one and then end your essay. I want you to actually think about what is the comparison between them. So that's a final essay, about 3 to 5 paragraphs. It doesn't need to be really long, but I do want you to make a lot of connections between them. So like I said, the easiest way to approach this is just to pick 3 that you see that are really similar. So with 3 kind of obvious, this is the story about the underworld, this is a story about creation, this is a hero story. So something where they have an obvious connection between them, it just makes it easier. So that's what you're doing for your final comprehensive essay. You do have also the option to take the end of course survey for 5 points extra credit. That's the last thing in the class and last thing in the last module. So that is the end of the class. So basically the final is divided up into 2 parts. The first part being just questions about the world myths, and then the second part being that comprehensive essay. So hopefully you're doing well. Obviously email me if you have questions, if you're struggling with anything. If I don't hear from you, I hope you have a great holiday break, and good luck next semester.